Hello again. This field is one of the areas we're trying to turn into a native wildflower meadow. One of the allies we have in it is this plant. It's called yellow rattle. Now it's not looking very yellow at the moment. It does early in the spring. At the moment it's set seed, and it's called yellow rattle because you didn't quite hear it. The seeds are inside these little paper cases and they rattle when they shake in the wind. Now the reason why this is a big benefit is because it's called a hemi parasite, and that means that it has its own green leaves, so it can make its own energy, but also it will steal energy from the grasses nearby, being a parasite. This helps to suppress the grass. Now it might seem a bit odd that you're wanting to suppress grass in a meadow, but that in fact is the goal. If you have grass that's too healthy and growing too well, then other wildflowers can't get in and grow. So the idea is do a variety of measures, one of which is how you cut the grass at the end of the year, and we'll show you that in a couple of months, but it's to keep the grasses suppressed as much as possible. And this yellow rattle will really help in that effort. The only problem with it is that it's an annual. So these plants have now died. The seeds need to touch bare soil. So we need to create areas of bare soil for the seeds to land on. We actually get a lot of help from that, from the moles. So you're going to kick over the molehills and then sprinkle the yellow rattle seeds on them and they germinate. And that's exactly where this patch of yellow rattle came from. So hopefully, as the years go by, we'll get this grass, this meadow, less and less grassy and more wildflowery, if that's a word. So the next step is to collect in these seed heads. We'll take them inside and let them dry out properly, and all the seeds will then fall out. We'll come out and put them on molehills and maybe any other kind of bare ground we can find, so we have lots and lots of yellow rattle to help us with our hay meadowing. Oh, while you're here, let me show you some of the cool things we have in this field. And we're very lucky here to have lots of orchids on our land. This is a common spotted orchid. This one's a nice purple color, sometimes they're almost white. When we bought this farm 4 years ago, there weren't that many orchids around and they've been increasing, so our land management seems to be very successful. So hopefully the yellow rattle that we're using will help keep the grass down and encourage their spread even more. Now just over here we have a very special orchid indeed. Come see. This is a lesser butterfly orchid. It is very rare in Britain, so we're incredibly lucky to have it here. When we first bought this place, we spotted these leaves and thought, this is something very interesting. And it didn't flower for about the first 2 years, but last year it did. So our management style seems to be working. One of the reasons why this is becoming so rare is because of overgrazing. Now we have no grazing here at all, so it's enabling it to flower. Now hopefully with our yellow rattle and our cutting program, it might even reproduce and we'll get more of them. Fingers crossed. This is another plant we're trying to encourage in our wildflower meadow. This is called sneezewort. I don't know if you can see, but there's all kinds of insects. There's hoverflies, there was a bumblebee a moment ago, butterflies. It's nice, isn't it? You just don't get that kind of diversity in a ryegrass dominated field. So hopefully with our management of this field, we can get more and more of this. You know, I do suffer from hay fever. I wonder how you meant to use sneezewort. Make a tincture, drink it? I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.